as I'm out there, this is at now we got to be what 2 o'clock in the morning or something like that. I mean, it's bars are closing. It's the last call. I don't even remember like what I drank. I don't remember anything. I don't remember singing songs. I'm sure I probably did or tried to. But as we left page 1, which I don't even remember when we left or what happened, but I remember like we must have left page 1 obviously at some point. On the way back, at the time we lived over off of Robinson Road, which is like this little apartment complex called Foxfire. We were on the way to Foxfire, and I'll never forget that.
No, you lived here.
Oh no, you're right. You're right.
You
You're
just
right.
moved from Foxfire.
We were going towards Foxfire. I remember that, and he turned because we should have turned. We should have not turned. He turned down the road. We were right by Foxfire, but he turned down McCain Road, which is over by that. What's that, Paragon preschool thing. And I remember thinking, like, wait a minute, we're not going the right way. And I remember saying, like, Nate, what are you doing? Like, I don't live this way. You're going to your house. We got to go to my house. Drop me off first. I don't want to go have a menage a trois with you, bro, or something. I don't know. I probably didn't say something that funny. I was probably too drunk. But anyway, I remember him slamming. Like, he slammed on the brakes. And we must have been doing, like, not even, like, 25, 30 miles an hour. We weren't going that fast. But he slammed on the brakes, and I fucking, boom. Like, I hit my glasses and, like, my head and everything off the back of his seat because he was in the driver. I was behind him. And his girlfriend wasn't wearing a fucking seatbelt at all. She fucking flew to the ground, slammed her head on the dashboard. And so at this point,
hold on.
Go ahead.
Cut you off. Just to paint.
No, you talk. I got to take this fucking hoodie off. Holy shit.
All right. I just wanted to paint the picture.
Go ahead.
So Nate's driving the truck in the front, and she's up front next to him? Or
Yeah. She's on the passenger side.
Passenger seat.
Yep.
And you're in the back seat.
The back seat behind him.
Behind him, probably like sitting in the middle, right? Like.
Nope.
No?
Well, I did not have a seatbelt on, but I was still in the designated area.
Okay. Well, were you behind him or behind her?
I was behind him.
Behind him. So you're behind the driver's seat.
I was behind the driver's seat, yes.
Okay.
And I do remember, like, and it took me forever because I did not remember that until I was sitting here one day with my, who was it? It was my old caregiver. She was an old lady, and we were talking about it. And then, like, as she was talking about it with me, like, it literally came in to my mind. Like, it made me remember. And I'm like, oh, my God. Like, and she's like, what? And I'm like, you just made me remember something that I totally did not have, any recollection of.
Yes.
So, as he hit the brakes, she goes flying. She hits her fucking head. I hit my face, and I wear glasses. Anybody that fucking wears glasses understands. You don't fuck with these. Once you fuck with these, then your mean guy comes out. You're like, son of a bitch, I'll kill you. So, man, I hit that thing so hard because I wasn't wearing a seatbelt. And I remember yelling at him. Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? If you're going to fucking drive like an idiot, let me drive. Get out and I'll drive. I remember saying that. Let me drive. Get out and I'll fucking drive. At the same time, she's calling him an asshole or whatever she's calling him because she's now holding her fucking head and her face climbing back up into her seat. And I remember her putting her seatbelt on. And I'm thinking, you know what? That's a good idea. And we're still parked. We're sitting in the middle of the road, not moving, from what I remember.
Okay.
I go to put my seatbelt on because I see her put her fucking seatbelt on. So let me put my shit big here because I'm sitting here looking at her. She puts her seatbelt on. I'm sitting here bitching him out, but then I'm thinking, I should probably put my fucking seatbelt on. So I reach back. I pull the seatbelt probably to about right here, and then all of a sudden he fucking slams the gas. Whoa, I get kicked back in the seat, and I'm fucking like this. Now, once you hit the gas to any kind of vehicle, you can't move that seatbelt.
It locks. Does that stupid lock thing.
I'm this fucking far away from plugging my seatbelt into my seatbelt connector, and I can't get it. There's nothing I can do. I remember pulling on this, and I'm trying to connect it, and I couldn't do anything. And that was it. Next thing you fucking know, boom, blackness. I don't remember anything. I don't remember what happened. I don't remember flipping over, screaming. I don't remember anything. The next thing I remember...
You just hit the gas.
Dude, he just hit the fucking gas. I'm sitting here...
Seatbelt.
Yeah, I'm sitting here yelling at him to get out of the car, let me drive. Like, dude, if I'd have known you were going to drive like an asshole, I would have called the cab. Dude, I'm yelling all these different things to him.
Right.
Like, as I'm sitting here thinking, like, we must have been, it couldn't have been that long. We must have been just sitting there for a minute for her to get up, put her seatbelt on, and then he stabbed the gas. Because if she wouldn't have had her seatbelt on, she would have been fucked.
Right.
Dude, they all would have been fucked. We all would have been fucked. I don't know if I'm pretty sure he had his seatbelt on because he did walk away with some, I think a broken back or some other shit. But so anyway, so he stabs the gas and we start climbing. I mean, we're doing, you know, fucking 35, 45, 55, 65. The cops estimated it to be around 70 miles an hour when we hit the curb. I wish I had fucking pictures of the curb or the corner because I'd show you. Imagine like you're driving down this road, it goes straight, and then all of a sudden it curves to the right to go over a bridge to a highway. He was going so fast down this road, and it's just like a residential road. There's not a whole lot of houses. There's a bunch of trees and a couple of houses. And when he turned right, or tried to turn right, the car was going too fast, the truck, for him to actually make that turn. So when I don't know if he jerked or what, but something happened to where the truck started, like, he went off the pavement, turning right, the truck started flipping over, end over end, and then...
wasn't it like nose to...
It could have been nose to nose, you're right. It could have been nose to nose. Well, based on the pictures I'm about to show you guys, You're going to be like, it might have been nose to nose. I don't fucking know. I asked for police reports. I filled out a fucking FOIA request, which I don't even know how to do that, but I did it, and I still haven't gotten anything left, so... The truck flips or whatever. I have absolutely no idea. Like, I don't remember any of this happening. Like, I'm guessing it must have been traumatic as fuck. Now, here's where the story gets interesting. I've told this part of my story so many fucking times, it gets tiring telling. But it's kind of bittersweet, I guess. It's weird. But, I don't know. I kind of like the way that I did it. If I wouldn't have did the way that I did it, I might have died. So I'm in the woods. I open my eyes. Like, I should start with, I open my eyes, and I'm looking straight up, like, at the sky. And I remember seeing these trees climbing, like, up around me, and I remember, like, seeing the stars. And I didn't hear anything at first. I just seen, like, this beautiful starry night with these fucking, like, trees swaying in the wind, and I'm looking straight up, and I'm like... First thing I thought was, this son of a fucking bitch. I was like, we just got into a bad accident. I knew it. I knew we got into an accident. And I'm thinking, well, I better get up and assess the damage and see what happened. So right when I say, well, I better get up and see what happened, I go to, like, use my elbows to, you know, if you're on the ground, to kind of move yourself up. I couldn't move anything. Couldn't move my elbows. So I'm like, well, let me try to kick my legs and see if I can move myself. Couldn't move my legs. I'm trying so hard to send my brain signals to my body parts that aren't working at all. Nothing is working. Nothing. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, let me try to yell for help, because I can hear people at this point. I see the lights. I see the lights of the ambulance, or the fire truck, or whoever the fuck it was. I knew that I was in trouble. I knew that I couldn't feel anything, probably because my body was going through trauma. The whole time, my brain's calculating this while I'm drunk. And I'm like, what do? I can't move my arms. I can't move my legs. I can't yell. I tried to yell, and all that happens is I go, like you got punched in the stomach or something, you know? Like, I'm completely winded. I had no idea how bad my fucking injuries really were. And I kept thinking, and I'm like, dude, what can I do? I got to get these people's I got to get their fucking attention, or I'm going to die, is what I kept thinking. I started, like, trying not to panic. So I kind of, like, I remember doing that. And I'm like, fuck, I can breathe. Thank God for that. I'm like, well, I'm thinking, this is all me thinking in my head. I can breathe. I can blink my eyes. And I'm, like, trying to talk, and I'm like, I can move my mouth. I can do that. I can breathe. I can move my mouth. I can move my eyes. I'm like, I can fucking whistle. So I took my deepest breath that I could take, and I went... And I remember fucking pushing as hard as I could to try to whistle as hard as I fucking could. And I must have did it, like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. Finally, I remember hearing somebody say, "Where are you at?" And I remember hearing, seeing the fucking lights, the flashlights, hit the trees. And I remember I fucking whistled and whistled and whistled until I felt the light hit me. and I could hear the jingling of the keys running up to me. And at that point, I'm thinking, fuck, thank God I got somebody to help me.
Right.
The guy come over and he looked over my body and he looked right at me and he said, "What's your name?" And I said, I couldn't talk. I'm like, I was all fucked up. He said, "Don't try to talk. Don't try to move. We're going to get you help. We're going to get you help. Don't try to move." That's the last time. I remember them putting me on the stretcher. I remember me getting into the ambulance. And as soon as my head passed through that light of the ambulance, I blacked out.